Hello. All right. Hi. Welcome to my life. I'm streaming a little bit earlier today than I usually do. Which you should start doing it on practice, because sometimes I just take too long to either start streaming or just to even like just go ahead and start, right? So uh, what I'm doing right now is that I am trying to commit to at least do it earlier during the day for night, or just do it consistently. And because I've been seeing that some people are watching my videos, but they're not necessarily watching me live. They're just coming in after, which is fine. It's great. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all that come in here and listen to me rant a little bit and play guitar. It's just fine. Trying to stay away from those copyright strikes. Now, so today, what gets you inspired? I mean, what inspires you to play, practice, picking up your instrument? Because God knows I can put my guitar there and don't use it for a while. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be something that we look forward to doing every day. I mean, yeah, I got some hours in my instrument already as practice, but it should be something we want to do, not a chore. And how do we get inspired to do that? It's hard. But some of the things that inspire us is Like today, I worked all day, worked really hard, manual work, hard work, and this is my escape from that right now. I get to be creative. I get to do something. I get to go here live and rant at you guys, play a little bit, and just get that off my system. But I mean, some of the ideas that you can use is that you can, if you have somebody that you like, so guitar hero or just somebody you just like how they play, you can just study them, deep dive into their music, get into the chords, get into the harmonies, how to their note selection, uh, maybe even positions. Watch some of their live performances and see how do they do the chords, the voicing, and all that, and that can get you inspired to practice and be more musical. I, okay, another thing that you can do is go to live shows. I try to go to live shows as much as I can. First of all, I like to be a patron of the arts because eh, with all this AI and people just not caring about music, it's good to keep the dream alive. Like try to go to as much of this live events as I can. I also like going and seeing the instruments, listening to the sounds, like how you know, and what I mean the sounds, not just from the musicians, but like the event, how it's being amplified and all that. I like to see the equipment. Um, it's also a good. I mean, if you've been working hard on your instrument, like I have been since I was 16, um, well, it's good to not measure yourself with these professionals, but at least like you get to see them in real life without editing, without the gymnastics of studio labor. Um, and sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I'm not that bad. But what I mean is like, yeah, I've seen great musicians and get inspired by them. God, I've seen Eric Johnson. I've seen Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. I've seen Andy McKee, was from YouTube, like originally. Uh, I've seen last year. I saw Hootie and the Blowfish. I saw Collective Soul. Uh, just so many great musicians that I feel blessed for the opportunity. I saw Jeff Beck's last tour, so I was there in San Diego. Uh, and yeah, I mean, you get inspired. You see these musicians, you get ideas. If you are in a band or something, you get ideas for your band, uh, and flat out just motivates you into picking up your instrument and going forward. Yeah. Trying to pick all the chords. I'm always going G, A minor, stuff like that. You can also recreate a song, like pick a song that you love, try it out, see how you can do it, make it your own, do any changes, substitutions, take some chords, moving around. Just gonna do it like we can do a, and try to do like a variation of it, like an off-brand remix. I don't know if I'm saying the things right, but the thing is that just make your own. Try to make it sound as best you can. You don't have nothing has to come from it. You can just use it as an inspiration. Right? At the very least, you can play it in an event or something, or busking, or with a cover band. Um, you can try a new instrument. I mean, I wouldn't do that if you want to get really good at your instrument, and not take the time or the practice that your instrument needs. But it's actually pretty good to try a new instrument and get like a different perspective, musically, how the chords, the harmony, the songwriting works. There's this guy, his name is Ricardo Arjona, and I saw an interview of him once. He's a very big Latin star and songwriter, and his lyrics are amazing. So he composes, at least for what I heard, in two ways. Uh, he plays the piano and he writes songs, right? Uh, but sometimes he says that he likes to just grab the guitar, the acoustic guitar, because the chord selections that he uses for his songs are very different than the ones he uses for piano. So therefore, his brain works differently with the chord progressions when he grabs the guitar. Therefore, he composes a different style or a different flavor, you might say, of his brand of music, of songs, right? So it's a very interesting thing. Like, you can also do that, watch interviews. Um, so that's something he did. I play a little bit of keyboards. No, I don't do it that often. I want to play. I want to learn how to play the harmonica. It's a great instrument, and my grandfather used to play it. So there's that. I didn't get to meet him for a long time, so it will be awesome to just get that connection. Uh, Set a time limit. Like, say I don't have time to pick up the guitar today, and sometimes you just don't have the time. But try to make at least 30, 45 minutes if you can. If not, just say, you know what? If I do 10 minutes or 15 today, I'll be happy. At least I can do something. I don't lose my mobility in my fingers. Set a time limit. Put your phone. Everybody's got phones and everybody's got apps and alarm apps on them. Put your phone. Put your limit in there, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you have, 30 minutes, and set it up and start practicing. And you'll be amazed how fast the time passed by and you have achieved something. I mean, don't do that every day. Set up some days that you're really going to have like a more, if your thing is going to be growing, set that up. Some people pick up instruments like the guitar or keyboards just to compose songs. That's how I started, by the way. But then I fell in love with the instrument. I used to write poems, and I wanted to learn how to write songs. So, if that is your thing, and you're not interested in doing complicated stuff, still like build up on that. I mean, set up a time that you sit down and you grab the guitar, you grab the instrument, and you start writing. You play alone. You try different ideas. A little chord here, different than there, and try different things. And you practice that too. Because sometimes you get inspired and you just get, things happen sometimes. But in songwriting, sometimes you gotta make it happen. And you gotta be sharp in what you do. And you wanna be ready for when those times come in. You wanna be sharp with your instrument. At least the chords that you usually use and the chord progressions, know how to combine them, how to substitute some of these chords so that you can write up on them. Yeah. Okay. Kind of like me with this channel. I want to go live. Sometimes I'm like, oh, but I don't feel like I'm prepared enough. Even though I have practice and years of being a musician on my side. But sometimes I just don't, like, I want to do better than what I'm doing. And then I just don't do anything. And that's not good either. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta look outside music. Like, this will be an example. And it's related to my instrument, but it's really more about engagement and really more about social media. So I'm putting myself out there on the world, on whoever can see this streaming. I'm leaving the video on demand. There, available, to be open. Open to criticism or just like conversation, which is what I'm looking for. Engage other musicians, share ideas, share knowledge, share practices and experiences. And that goes into me being motivated and inspired uh, to pick up my instrument and do something about it. Because I don't want to say swear, but I promised you, if I didn't pick up this guitar to do this, I was just going to watch TV for a long time. And then I was going to go on my day, which is basically I already went to work, so it's not like I'm lazy or something. I've been working all day. I remember I said that. But I will just go and sit down and crash there and just call my wife and my daughter maybe and go to sleep. And be like, oh, I'm going to do something very creative. I have tons of ideas to do on YouTube. Tons of them. But will I do any of them? No, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit there and do nothing. So if I don't pick up this guitar and sit down and do these live, nothing. So I know myself. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. So I'm putting myself out there like this. So this is one idea that you can also do. You can use TikTok. People use TikTok too. You can go out, meet friends, start a band, jam with your neighbor. I don't see garage bands anymore. That's another thing that I want to talk about. But I'm going to leave that for later. But yeah, collaborate with other musicians, right? When I learned how to play guitar, I learned on church, on Christian church. I went to Pentecostal church. Most of my formative years, I was in the Pentecostal church, and I learned a lot there, and I owe a lot to the church in my musical development. There was a guy there named Israel. He gave me a couple of lessons when I started, showing me the basic stuff. He let me sit beside him and watch what he was doing. So we can do comping for the church. And it was a great time, and I owe that to him. But if it wasn't for that collaboration, knowing myself, I probably wouldn't have done anything. So I owe a lot to that. So yeah, I meet other musicians. There's people out there that want to play, that just need a little, And if some of them have hidden talents, maybe they're already musicians and you don't know it. So some of your friends, co-workers or whatever, maybe you can give them a little notch and all of a sudden you're jamming that, you don't need much. Like percussive players, they can pretty much just grab whatever. And I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying, like, they can just grab a cajon in my hometown, a guido, a maracas, all of that, and a little tambor, we call it, a little drum, and just make a party with that. You should see these guys playing out. Like they have bands that are just like drums, and they sound amazing. My son used to play in one of them. They're great. They come out in Christmas more than anything, but they call them batucadas. Search that out. Batucadas is BATACUDAS if you're talking plural. And man, it just sounds insane. Sounds amazing. Just drums. It's something that's like, don't add anything else. Just leave it as it is. I don't care if I don't play guitar. I want to listen to this. Learn how to appreciate music. And when you learn how to appreciate music, you're going to learn how to appreciate what you do in music. That's great. Record yourself. Record yourself while you play. Again, you have a phone. Phone has a camera. The phone has a mic. You can record your sound when you come up with ideas. Catch them later. You can see your performance, see your stance, see your posture, and you can correct it when you see yourself play. I mean, it's not a substitute for a good teacher, guitar like instructor, but something's better than nothing. And even if you had that guitar instructor, you still needed this to record yourself, and it helps you out a lot. All right. Yeah. Well, that's that. Um, it's also, if you are trying to practice and not just like play, it's also to set up small goals. Um, and even if you're like practicing, set up small goals. Like, don't go like, you know what, today I'm gonna learn all the modes like Mixolydian and Phrygian and Lydian and Locrian. I'm gonna learn how to improvise in all of them in all the positions. Hold it. learn the major scale, and then try to do different positions. Different day, different positions, different key, little by little, smaller sets. You want to do a smaller technique, some achievable goals is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Achievable goals. You want to do achievable goals that you can actually follow through, that you feel that you feel like you are achieving stuff, like let's come with the word, but that you feel that you're actually winning. No, let's just say that you're trying to grade, like you actually did something today. You don't feel behind. It's like, oh man, you learn something every day. Learn triads, learn how to build chords. And notice that all that I have said, I mean, most of it, 99% of it, applies also to any instrument. I'm sorry about that. To any instrument, not just guitar, right? So, do that, and just make sure that you use your time in a matter that you are getting good used to it. So, honey, I'm going live. So so the thing is that and also, and this happened to me before, like a lot. Embrace imperfection. Sometimes you want to do things perfectly and have a perfect sound, and do it with no imperfections. And I'm not saying be mediocre. I'm saying, like, if it doesn't sound like it's in a record, is because it's not in a record. You're playing live. You're doing a performance. It's not being edited. Um, I got nothing against these guys, but I've listened to some guys on YouTube or Instagram, and they sound like superhuman. I mean, everything is like a lot of slaps and a lot of sounds, but it kind of feels like they're not playing, and you can do a lot in editing, and again, not to throw dirt on these guys because there's a lot. It doesn't mean they're less than or less musicians than, and this probably takes a lot of effort, even to edit all of this stuff out, but like embrace the the imperfection, the human aspect of it. With this AI and all this stuff that's coming out, you want to feel like you're listening to somebody, to a human being, just being human. Like, to give you an example of myself, I used to play acoustic guitar, but I didn't want to hear the sound. Or I wanted to make it in a way that I will hear that sound only once in a specific note on every specific part of the song. So I was going crazy trying to like figure it out. No, don't make that noise. Don't let it sound like you're changing chords. Until I was young, so until I realized it's part of it. It's the most natural thing. It's part of the whole deal. Is the performance. It's how we come up with this. It's the contact between you and the guitar. Obviously, it's touch. So it is how we engaged. It's how we come together. So yeah, embrace perfection, but don't be mediocre. Try to be better. Try to be better every time. Even if you're just doing the guitar just to pass the time, like doing a couple of chords, but don't be lazy. Try at least try to be consistent in your timing. The timing is the most important thing. Just please don't use a metronome. Practice with a metronome, and then practice without the metronome. So, and again, how can you do all that with 10 minutes? Of course, you're not gonna do this just in one sit. You're gonna do this separately. So one day you'll practice with a metronome, or maybe 2 or 3 days, depending if you need it more. So practice with a metronome for a couple of consecutive days, at least 2 days, and then practice without the metronome because you don't also want to sound robotic. So that will keep you have a mental kind of like metronome there, like it'll be second nature to just what I'm trying to say. So yeah, and that's what I have for you guys. So I'm gonna play a little bit. Now, if something else comes to mind, I'm gonna keep on ranting. So yeah. Sorry. That's one thing I can't stand. The songs now sounding like notes sounding like farts. Like no, I can't. Okay, that was a messed up. And that one too. Okay. The thing is, I don't want to get copyrighted, but I'm trying to learn. Uh, uh, yeah, I just, YouTube, you probably got to copyright it just because of that. Another thing that you can use for guitar, especially, is alternate tunings. If you have practiced so much on your instrument and you feel like you've taken, good steps on it and feel stuck, and even if you don't consider yourself like a master or like a pro or like, oh, you're all that, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It has more to do with you're bored. So you're bored and you just want to try something different that can open your creative eye. um you can try alternate tunings like a drop D, uh and many others, double drop D or whatever. Drop D is the one that I have used the most, aside from the regular standard tuning, and I still haven't used it that much. So that's something you can look into it. There was a band I used to love in the 90s called Days of the New, and they were big on that, big on D, double drop D, uh, double drop D, drop D. That didn't sound right what I said before. I'm sorry. It wasn't on purpose. So that's something you can try too. It sounds great. By the way, that was an acoustic band. That Days of the New, they sounded rock and roll with just acoustic guitars, and it was great. Then it became a band called Tantric. We can talk about that later. And if you heard any of these bands or whatever, and you want to comment, put it in the comments. Do that too. But yeah, so alternate tunings. I can probably drop it on the comments. Some of the most common alternate tunings and some of the songs from known bands that are in alternate tuning, so you can hear what comes from it. Actually, we can do that. I'm gonna read it from here. I got a computer. I just didn't want to. Okay, most popular songs with alternate tuning. Alright. Okay. So Led Zeppelin's Kashmir and Rain Song. It says it's open D. So that's like the double drop D. The Beatles, Dear Prudence, is in drop D. The Foo Fighters Everlong, oh yeah, that one is in drop D. The White Stripes Seven Nation Army is in C sharp E. Oh my God, never heard of that one before. Um, it says that drop D is a very common alternate tuning. I said that already. Others like Nick Drake's C, G, C, F, C, E tuning also appear in popular music. All right, cool. So there you go. So alternate tuning is another thing that you can try that I did when I was younger and wanted to like got a little bored. Again, if you're trying to master the instrument though, it's good to just stay in the regular tuning and try to get the most of it. Remember, there's many stuff that you can do with the guitar. Then I mean, gonna you're never gonna master it really. you I mean, there are people that pretty much we call them masters, but like you're never gonna be able to like 100% it. It's not like one of the like a game, like a video game. It's like, oh, I want 100% it, which means like that you did all the missions and side quests and then collected all the items and blah blah blah. There was this game, Legend of Zelda. well, it was the Breath of the Wild, that it had like tiny pieces of gold that were like a, like poop, but made out of gold, and you collected. I don't remember if it was 100, and at the end, there was no reward or nothing. It was just collected 100 pieces of golden poop. So I mean, but yeah, that's a quest that you have to do if you want 100% it, right? The guitar, you will never be able to 100% it, like never ever. It's not gonna happen, you know. Uh, it's good to try your best to make it, to kind of make it happen, but it's never gonna happen, right? Uh, uh, Please leave a like if you're there. Um, so, but yeah, the guitar is something that it's one of the instruments that is the easiest to learn if you wanna just play it simple. But if you wanna like really be good at it, I don't want to say it's the most difficult, but it's very complicated. You know, it's got many positions, many different like shapes, like the tension. It's like the thing is going against you. You know, like it's like pressing and you're pressing back. But it's a great thing. Music is a great thing. Music, it's an amazing thing that I've been doing it for so long that I don't even know how people can live without it. And I know they can listen to it and they appreciate it, and that's great. But there's some people. It doesn't mean that you have to play. Don't get me wrong. And if you're a person that doesn't play and listen to this, I'm not trying to offend you. What I mean is like, there's people that don't even put any importance to music, so it's just something that is in the background for them, and I don't even know how can you live like that. So it's been a lifesaver for me. It's given me peace of mind. It's given me so much that I will never be able to pay back, and I'm appreciative of that. So um, yeah, those are things to be inspired for. Also, because yeah, I work with different types of people in different places, and I can see how a lot of people, again, great people, it's just that you tell it, what are you have something to do or something, and they just like watch TV. I don't know. I'm always bored or lonely or whatever, and I'm like, shit, I'm never bored. I'm I'm never lonely. I always have this to do. I have other hobbies, but I mean, with this alone, I got all the rest of my life that I will never be bored, that I will never be alone, because it creates engagement, attention, bringing people together. Um, so yeah, that's something to be inspired for. Like, you got something that, I'm not saying feel good because others don't have it, but you got something that people want, and at some point you were one of those people. Now you have it, so uh, that's something to be inspired for, and that's something worth keeping alive for. That's something worth your time and your effort. Um, so being and like the Bible says in some part, like not everybody gives the same, and it's talking about religion, God, and doing spiritually, but also applies to this. Not everybody gives it the same. Some people give 10%, some people give 50, some people give 100%, or the closest to 100% that they can. You know, I certainly not 100%, by the way, but guitar is always something that it's in my mind, and it's always something, at least music, that I'm looking forward to do, right? And it's been a big part of my life. Um, my children became musicians, also, so I have a musical family. My wife has the one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard, and it's like a musical family. I mean, we don't play together, by the way, which kind of You'll think it's weird, but I don't know. It's very different. Uh, but well, I used to play with my wife though, when we were in church. But for years. But it's good to have it. It's good to pass it forward. It's also something that you can pass on as a legacy to your kids, family, nieces, students. Um, yeah, all of that is worth. Uh, it's inspiring. All of that. Yeah, time to play a little bit more. So, I want to try the E chord because I usually, guitarists, we always go for the G chords, the C chords, D chord too, because it's easy, to combine. How about the E chord? I know in Spanish, there's like Christmas songs that do that because they do this and something like that. But I'm talking about going into the chords. Okay, so no, because so it doesn't sound in the character. Even though those notes are in the, yeah, they're in the key. I'm thinking, sorry, brain fart. Let's try some chords. Let's try something different. Yep. Okay. Also, I see a lot of people playing in A minor. How about A major? Let me try something. Okay. I like those chords. Let's do something more, something softer. so let's do something. So I'm gonna go from B to E. What I'm trying to do is a chord progression. I'm going to the second grade of the scale, which is B minor, because we're playing in the key of A. I'm going to the fifth chord, which is this. And what do we do after that? Okay. Yep. So that was the key of A. Just trying to do something with it. And that's another thing to get inspired. Try to get out of your cage. Try something different. I'm very comfortable playing in C major. Very comfortable in playing in G. I mean, when it's electric and you're like just doing notes and there's other people comping, I can do any note. But playing the acoustic guitar like that and trying to come up with like comping alone or trying to come up with like composing something, I'm very comfortable in C major, D major, B minor, A minor, of course. You know, all those chords that are good for the open chords, like G major or A or E minor, relative minor. Yeah, all of those I'm very comfortable. I've been doing like minor tones and going all sad. But sometimes you gotta get away from that and you gotta try something different and feel a little bit more, you know, motivated of learning, right? Trying to make something good can come out of it. If we were soloing here, we'll be here. Or just here. Let me get the other pick, because that one is too flimsy. That one is good for like strumming. There's some backing tracks in YouTube that you can also use to get inspired and practice some of your chops. Um, just don't get stuck in that, because I've been stuck in that and I just be noodling all the time and not doing anything else. But yeah, I mean, if that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, if that entertains you, then what, go nuts. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? But I'm just giving you an opinion, right? And an observation of what happens sometimes. If that's not your end game, to just like be entertained and whatever, and you want to get better at the instrument, you should not be stuck at the one thing. Yeah. So that's that. Learn your relative minors. Make your in C, so A minor, and all of that. And just listen to new music. Also, again, I'm assuming you're a guitarist, and if you're not, it applies to you as well. Listen to music that's different than the music that you like, even if it doesn't have the instrument that you play. For example, oh, you don't like urban music or something because it doesn't have any guitars on it. Listen to it, try to see what other people like about it, try to appreciate it. Again, the music appreciation thing. Try to see what's so good about it, and maybe you can come up with a kick-ass cover for that song, for those songs. Yeah, well, they're music. You could just put guitar on it. I heard some pretty kick-ass covers from like rap songs in YouTube. I do that. It doesn't mean that I tried. I hate it. I don't like that music. And I mean, why do I have to go and try again? Don't try that one. You already know that you don't like it. Try something else. Maybe you can try later, different artists or something. But yeah, try a different style. A lot of guitarists say that it's pretty good for them to listen to like sax players, like horn players and stuff, or just singers, and like try to come up with like the melodies that they play, because that way you're not thinking like scales, like you know, like you're not thinking about that. I just did a mess here, but you're not thinking chops. You're not thinking what you call it, riff. You're not thinking about like you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about licks is the word that I'm looking for. And that way you get more melodic, more musical. And then you put a lick here and there in between the notes, right? And that's how you get to be really, really freaking good. So that's something else that you can do. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you get some of this of what was said here, and somebody can listen to it later. I see there's the 2 people watching right now. I appreciate you. Appreciate for being here. Please leave a like if you haven't done so. Subscribe. Check out my other videos. I have been. I mean, this is I'm Alex. This is a channel about guitars, and I have been doing guitar related content. But also, I'm doing suffer from insomnia, and sometimes it's very difficult for me for sleeping. So I've been concentrating on creating videos that help that. Some sounds of nature. It's some videos that you can put it in on YouTube, and you can just listen to it while you sleep, like kind of like white noise. Spa. You can use them for like praying or concentrating, studying. I have a friend of mine who says that he listens to them while reading. So yeah, it's usually like waterfalls or stuff like that. Also some like softer music on top of them. So yeah, you can check them out. There's a playlist called the Soothing Sounds for Sleep that I'm building with these videos. Check it out. Check my other videos. I have some shorts that I've done from the venues that I've seen other musicians play, and I try to post as much as possible here. Again, sometimes I can't because it's copyrighted, but when it's solos, when it's just as a solo improvisation stuff, that's not copyrighted, so you can post it here. And I have a bunch of those. I even have a video, I think it's like over a year old, maybe 2 years, that it's like some of the solos that I saw throughout the year, and I got them recorded in one video. You can check it out. I like that video a lot. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me. I'm gonna kick it out with like playing a little bit more for a second there, for a couple of minutes, and we'll be out. Hey. Yup. Oh, come on, man. Thanks. Have a good night.